energizing your soul through the inspired Word of God. This is your daily devotional reading.
Our Daily Bread. Luther before the Diet. April 3rd. The gospel cannot be preached without offense. His word our lamp, His truth our guide. We cannot be mistaken. Though dangers rise on every side, we shall not be forsaken. Then trim your lamps, my brethren dear. Then trim your lamps with godly fear. The Master's coming draweth near. Let every lamp be burning. The gospel cannot be preached without offense. To the law and to the testimony, if they speak not according to this word, it is because there is no light in them. Isaiah chapter 8, verse 20. Frederick of Saxony maintained a studied reserve, carefully concealing his real feelings toward the reformer, while at the same time he guarded him with tireless vigilance, watching all his movements and all those of his enemies. But there were many who made no attempt to conceal their sympathy with Luther. He was visited by princes, counts, barons, and other persons of distinction, both lay and ecclesiastical. The doctor's little room, wrote Spalatin, could not contain all the visitors who presented themselves. The people gazed upon him as if he were more than human. Even those who had no faith in his doctrines could not but admire that lofty integrity which led him to brave death rather than violate his conscience. Earnest efforts were made to obtain Luther's consent to a compromise with Rome. Nobles and princes represented to him that if he persisted in setting up his own judgment against that of the church and the councils, he would soon be banished from the empire and would have no defense. To this appeal Luther answered, "The gospel of Christ cannot be preached without offense." Why then should the fear or apprehension of danger separate me from the Lord and from that divine word which alone is truth? No, I would rather give up my body, my blood, and my life. Again he was urged to submit to the judgment of the emperor, and then he would have nothing to fear. "I consent," said he in reply, "with all my heart that the emperor, the princes, and even the meanest Christian should examine and judge my words, but on one condition, that they take the word of God for their standard. Men have nothing to do but to obey it. Do not offer violence to my conscience, which is bound and chained up with the Holy Scriptures." To another appeal he said, "I consent to renounce my safe conduct. I place my person and my life in the emperor's hands, but the word of God, never." He stated his willingness to submit to the decision of a general council, but only on condition that the council be required to decide according to the Scriptures. "In what concerns the word of God and the faith," he added, "every Christian is as good a judge as the Pope, though supported by 1,000,000 councils, can be for him." Both friends and foes were at last convinced that further effort for reconciliation would be useless. Had the reformer yielded a single point, Satan and his hosts would have gained the victory, but his unwavering firmness was the means of emancipating the church and beginning a new and better era. The influence of this one man, who dared to think and act for himself in religious matters, was to affect the church and the world, not only in his own time, but in all future generations. His firmness and fidelity would strengthen all to the close of time who should pass through a similar experience. The power and majesty of God stood forth above the counsel of men, above the mighty power of Satan. This passage was taken from The Great Controversy, pages 165 and 166. Our Daily Bread, April 3rd.
I encourage you to be ye doers of the word and not hearers only. Thank you for listening, and be sure to join us tomorrow for your daily devotional reading.